Welcome to Let's Talk Books Unscripted. Welcome back to Let's Talk Books Unscripted. We're at episode 33. So we are drinking this beer, Happy Place, from Third Space Brewing Company. It's in Milwaukee. And we are drinking them out of the glasses that we used at our wedding reception. We still have them.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hers says Mrs., well. Mine says Mr. But these are the glasses we had at our wedding reception when we fill up our drinks.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. I ordered them just for something fun for our
reception. They're almost 10 years old. Use them once in a while. We're trying to kind of special, so we don't want to ruin them. And they're hand wash only, which drives me crazy.
Oh yeah, that's why we don't get them out more.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the Mr. and Mrs. So.
It sounds like George needs to go outside. By the way,
why just started? I think he knew. So I'm gonna pivot.
Yeah,
you gotta take the lead.
Go do that.
I'll be right back.
Okay. It's unedited, right? Because he'll just keep doing that. So I'm like, yeah, let's take him out now. But yeah, first, because it's so fresh in my mind, I do want to talk about the book I most recently finished. It happens to be on here on my Kindle. I think I shared last time that I decided to finally get one, and I've been really pleased with it. It has not taken away from me reading physical books. I'm still, I read multiple things all the time anyway, so I guess it's just like yet another option is the way that I look at it, because I listen to audiobooks almost daily if I'm completing a task or running an errand or taking a walk, whatever. And I read a physical book at some point, whether it's during the day or right before bed. And then now I just have added books that are on my Kindle as another option. But I just finished Pictures of You by Emma Gray. I want to kind of get to the front so I can show you the cover of it. Of course, it's not going to be vibrant in color and everything, even though I know they have like new Kindles out with the color, but I'm just fine with this. But I do have a physical copy on the way soon, so I will be really happy to be able to add it to my shelf instead of having it just be part of my Kindle shelf. But if you've not heard of her yet, then you're missing out. I also read The Last Love Note by her as well. Earlier this year, but that one did come out last year, so last November. And then now this book, Pictures of You, I had the privilege of reading slightly before pub date, so it comes out next month. And I also got invited to a Zoom, so I'm really excited about that. That happens on Monday, and I was exclusively invited to be a part of that, so she'll be on, along with, I think, like some of the people from Zibby Publishing. Zibby publishes her books. So that's coming up on Monday, so I'll be able to tell you guys about that on our next one. But I have an influencer box coming with the actual book. But awesome. You guys, you need to buy this book. Read it. I don't care. Get it from the library, but read it somehow. I honestly, I can already tell it's going to be in my top 5 favorite books from this year. It was just so beautifully written. And both times she wrote her books, I think she was writing from a place of grief, and not that I wish bad experiences on anybody, but apparently it helps her write really, really good books, which does make sense. I have luckily not gone through, anything that she has experienced as of yet, and I feel really grateful for that in my life. But definitely have gone through hard things, and I think that writing is an excellent way to process that. So obviously she has done that in her novels. Yeah. And yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. I was telling Corey, it's the first book in a little while. I mean, I've had some really good reads recently, but where I literally was laser focused and I did not want to put it down. I kept thinking about it when I was doing other things and just couldn't wait to get back to the book. And that's just the mark of a really excellent read. So it was I know I don't do star ratings on social media anymore. That's not, I don't put that on there and advertise it. But I will say it was a very fast 5 stars. I was I didn't even have to think about it. So
5.5.
So anyway, that took up a lot of time, but I just wanted to rave about how much I absolutely adored that book.
Yeah.
So
quick update. Last week we went to a big used book sale, and we're going back tomorrow. We decided we're going to go back to the book sale tomorrow because it's half price day.
Without our children.
without the kids, so we can really
It'll
kind
be a
of.
little bit more enjoyable.
We're only gonna have like an hour and a half.
Probably less.
Maybe less. We'll have probably an hour that we're gonna get coffee first, then go to the book sale. But all books are gonna be $1. So
they were only $2 last weekend, now only $1.
And what they told us is every week they've been restocking the used books. So we'll see what's left. There may not be much left, but we'll find.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but
we'll find stuff, and we'll be able to really scour the place since we're gonna be on our own and
be able to take our time at least.
We can focus. We'll have coffee.
More.
We'll be ready. So we're gonna go that tomorrow. So obviously we'll keep you updated on what we get there. Hopefully a lot. What's cool? So they're actually doing it next week too. The next week they're gonna do $5 bags.
Fill a bag for $5.
And then next Sunday, like all books are free. Whatever is left, you can go and get like just whatever you want for free. So I don't know, maybe interesting, but so that's pretty cool. There's 2 books that we got last week too. After the book sale, we went to a thrift store.
Yeah.
So we went to the thrift store. We found some books, and what was great about that bookstore, all their paperbacks were $1.
Yeah.
So we found 2 books.
In like really good condition.
One of them was one we really wanted, which was excellent, and one is one we're replacing a copy with a better copy. So that one is the Goldfinch,
which Corey has talked about a lot.
So we had this book,
but it wasn't as. This one is in like.
Yeah, so this is really nice. It's
for like $1.
It's a bigger edition.
Yeah.
It's just a better quality copy of this book. So we're like, let's get this one for $1, and we actually put our old copy in a little free library we have.
Yeah.
Couple houses down.
There, yeah.
So that was pretty good score. Look at this book for $1. I mean, come on, that's just the score.
It's like hefty, and like just you can't feel through the screen.
You can feel the quality, yes.
But the feel of it it's just like really nice.
So that was a nice book to find. I mean, you can't go wrong. And the other one was a book that we were just talking about because we just read one of his other books for our book club, In the Lives of Puppets. So we found The House in the Cerulean Sea at the same thrift store for $1.
So that's pretty cool.
It had all these stickers on it and stuff. We were able to get them all off,
which was nice. Successfully get to them off.
But yeah, another book for $1, and this is one we both wanted to read. So I was like,
yep, that was gonna be my next one by him. So
yeah,
I'm gonna do. I did decide though when I get to this that I'm going to do the audiobook as well. So I'll do both, like I did for In the Lives of Puppets, because I believe the same person narrates all of TJ Klune's books. I'm pretty sure
he was awesome.
And it was excellent. So I'm gonna do like a combo because I really enjoyed that experience within the Lives of Puppets too. So
yeah, check out your local thrift stores for books. I mean, I know like Goodwill and
not all
stuff.
thrift stores
They're
have
pretty
them,
expensive there, but
expensive for used.
For used,
they're still cheaper than a brand new book.
Correct,
but
some of the thrift stores in our area, you can find books $1, $2. Or look for some local book sales, like library, Friends of the Library sales, or just like donation-based book sales.
Some treasures there. I mean, yes, you're going to run into like tons of the what are they called? Trade
paper, mass market paperbacks.
Yes, those which are like the smaller. Like I don't like those personally, but I feel like they make those like probably for travel and stuff, right? Because they're smaller,
easier to store.
I don't know.
I guess for people,
but
and cheaper.
They're not my preference. It's not like I'm gonna. Yeah, even if I found a book that I wanted to read, but it was in that format, I would not buy it. But yeah, so they do have a lot of those, and like also just
romance
books that
a lot of nonfiction.
Maybe you're not interested in, but and they do have.
But this sale had like vintage books and like poetry.
Yeah.
And one pro tip for these, and we're kind of learning because we're kind of new to these sales. Try to be there right away when it opens the first day.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy.
We missed the boat on that.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy busy, but we're kind of like having FOMO, like, I wonder what we missed.
Oh, yeah.
By not going.
So we are going to be there right away tomorrow, but I mean, and they've been restocking, so maybe it'll be beneficial.
But I'm
still
saying
for us
like,
to be there tomorrow. I don't know. But,
the day it starts, the day it opens, if you can get there, I mean, because there is some really good stuff that people donate to these sales, and they probably read it one time, and they're like, here you go.
Yeah, because I think we showed our stack from last time, and the one that was a premium one, I paid $4 instead of $2, but it was well worth the $4 because it looked like somebody had literally not read it or like read it one time, like you said, and donated it.
So
when the book would have cost what, between $20 and $30
for sure.
Yeah. So
all right, well, we got a stack of books at our feet here, so we're gonna
get going.
We're gonna
more
dive in. What do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about our current reads. You've shown that book way too many times.
Yeah, I won't even show it. I'll just talk.
He's still reading Misery. But yeah, let's see. So the one that I just finished, I talked about that. Oh, and then I guess instead of going into what I'm currently reading, I'll talk about another one that I finished. I think I did talk about this one previously. So this is another arc, and this one I did get physically. Like I said, I am getting the physical copy, the one I just finished, but didn't have it like right away. So I read it digitally. But this one they had, they did send me the first few chapters digitally. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, oh, if you're liking it, officially request a physical arc. And I was like, I am liking it. So I made it through Penitence by Kristen Koval. I don't know if you posted my review on here yet, but or if I even sent it to you, but I did film a review for this one, so I won't get too much into it, but it was an excellent read. I think it falls into like the literary fiction category. I think I don't know if I read somebody's review on it or where I saw it, but somebody kind of likened her to Jodi Picoult a little bit, like compared her to Jodi Picoult and like her writing style and her choice of topics for books, because this was like a very controversial read, but I won't say much more about it. I talked about it in my review that Corey will share if you haven't already. But this one's called Penitence by Kristen Koval, and this is a debut novel for her. So I was incredibly impressed by the fact that it was a debut because it was just really, really well written. So I highly recommend it. It comes out in February. Oh, it doesn't say the exact date, but I believe it's February 18th, 2025. So I've really been enjoying getting to read books ahead of publishing date.
It is a...
I feel special.
It is a score. It is a win.
I know I'm not the only one who gets to do that, but select
nice.
people. Nice. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So that was another one that I finished. I finished a couple audiobooks. But yeah, what else? Have you finished anything recently? I mean, that one.
Just that one. We talked about that.
Which we already talked about.
I'm still reading Misery.
I
mean, I won't show it again because I've showed it like 100 times, but
you guys know what the book looks like.
Yeah, I'm still on pace to finish it by Halloween, which was my goal, because I want to watch the movie Halloween Night. Katie has agreed to watch it with me.
I have. I want to watch something else freaky besides that one. We still haven't like dove into any creepy show or movie, and we're like running out of time.
Maybe not that night, but you've agreed to watch it.
I will watch
without
it with you.
Reading the book first.
Yes, because we've discussed. I normally have a really big problem with that, but I'm starting to wonder if I will be a Stephen King fan. I hate saying that out loud. I'm still going to give him a try, but like just from what I've heard from some people, he's very wordy. Mm-hmm. You've said that, but I mean, I've also heard it from other people too.
Yeah.
And I might struggle because I almost have a feeling that it's going to feel too slow for me, some of his books. And like, I tend to need a faster paced book in general to keep my interest.
Yeah. I will say on that topic, there is a reason I'm going fairly slow through it because of that. But it has started to pick up a little bit. Like the first 100 pages of this book were so good. Like I was hooked into it, but I've hit the middle and it's been really slow. Mm-hmm. But I think it's starting to pick up again, so it's going to end great. But I definitely want to finish this one, watch the movie, and I'm going to read one more before I make my decision if I'm going to move further with any of his books.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like, I feel like there isn't really an in-between is what I've heard from people, that you're either like a hardcore fan and you're really into it, or you're just kind of like, take it or leave it sort of thing.
I don't want to jump to any like
for sure. I'm going to give him a try too, but I don't know for sure if I'll read Misery first. I might pick something else. I'm not really sure what I want to do.
I don't think he's for everyone. I know I know someone was sharing that in our book club that she's intimidated by him because a lot of his books are long and wordy and deep.
And he just has like kind of a different writing style.
Vocabulary is very vast.
Yeah. I'm definitely intrigued. I'll have to sit and think about if I'm gonna go the misery route or if I'm gonna just watch the movie with you and kind of call it good, and maybe I won't ever read the book, and that's weird for me. But
so there is a reason I'm going slow through it, and there is a reason I said I can't read anything else until I finish it, because
you have to like stay focused.
I want to stay focused and finish it, but I am going slow through it because it is not really
gripping, riveting.
Yeah. Well, what I read yesterday, I am starting to get back.
Okay.
That little bit of feeling, because it started off so amazing and so creepy. But so we're good. I'm on pace.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I guess we've shown this one a lot too. You guys are probably sick of us talking about it now, but it's so good. But we did have our virtual discussion on Sunday.
If you're watching this and you were there, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was
we had
really
a great
fun.
time.
We had a great discussion, like we thought we would, because this book. Yeah,
was
I would highly recommend it for book clubs if you're in a book club and you need a suggestion, whether it's creepy season or not. I mean, you can read this book whenever. But like, man, I love that we were all equally confused. And then it was funny because after we got off the call, Corey and I were continuing to talk about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have this theory. And like I hadn't fully brought it up in the talk with everybody else, so then I had to go and like message it. We have like a group chat going, and I was just like, I might be totally off base, but this is what I maybe am thinking. And everybody else was like, oh, I can see that. So I don't know. It sounds like he's going to be coming out with more books. It's just that I'm going to be really impatient waiting for that to happen. But in the meantime, I guess, I don't know. Is he going to come out with the new book before the Netflix movie is out, or is the movie going to come out? Because
we don't know.
Man, I'm excited to watch the movie.
We're all ready for answers, though.
Yeah, and I mean, that was the point. The author said, like, it was meant to be confusing. You were going to have questions, but
it's a lot to talk about, which is cool.
It was
we
great.
all had like our theories and like our thoughts on it, and it was a fun group. I think we had 12 people on. So if you were there, it was really fun, and we're gonna share right now what our next book's gonna be. So there is still time if you want to join in.
Join for November.
Send a message on here or on Instagram or TikTok.
Yes.
And we can get you set up with the group chat. But we're gonna be reading another book.
This one definitely a change of pace.
A little different.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, I don't know. We can read whatever in November. I didn't really feel like there was like a theme necessarily for November.
Just a book.
Just a book, but all of the ones I picked for everybody to vote on happened to have like some kind of magical realism element in it. I've decided this is the year that I have become next level obsessed with magical realism, whether it's in a romance or just in general. I would recommend it too if like you've been on the fence about trying fantasy books.
Yeah. Because
fantasy can feel really intimidating, like it has for me. That's why I'm kind of like dipping my toes into fantasy as well. So I feel like magical realism kind of gives you that like little, like, I don't know. And this one actually may fall into the official category of fantasy. I'm not really sure, but it just kind of gives you that little hint where it's not as like deep and confusing as sometimes a total fantasy book can be, because there's just so many characters and their names are hard to pronounce normally, and like, these like crazy worlds, which again I have mad respect. I think I said this last time, that for people who write fantasy, because you have to have like an insanely vast imagination to come up with everything they come up with. But yeah, this one looks like a delightful book. It's called The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. And it is inspired by C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia. So I always loved those books as a kid. I think I've shared that before. My dad used to read those to my brothers and me. So basically this has kind of been compared to, or saying it's like a grown-up Narnia.
Nice.
So I am very excited for this one, and the cover is absolutely stunning. I really loved her book, The Wishing Game. So I read that one last year maybe. And then very excited for this one. I don't really know too much about it, honestly. I mean, I've read the description, but sometimes it's fun to go into a book a little bit more blindly too.
Have we picked a date for the
yes,
the virtual meetup yet?
One is going to be towards the end of November, but before Thanksgiving. So it'll be Sunday, November 24th.
Yeah.
At 8 p.m. Central Time. So
we'd love for you to join with us. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun meet.
Then what do we want to touch on next? okay, so we already talked about your current read. I am also reading these 2 books here. I won't go into it too much just for the sake of time, but The Butcher Game, I am barely into it because, yeah, I got really sucked into pictures of you. That was the one I gravitated towards and did not want to put down. So I'm going to kind of go back to these ones for sure. Try to, not have too many other books going, but of course, I never make any promises because I'm going to talk about another one that I plan on starting soon. But I do want to get further into this one because I have a friend waiting to discuss it with me. So this is like a buddy read we're doing. This is the sequel to The Butcher and the Wren. I read that one last month. I know I don't like how shiny it is, but so this is called The Butcher Game.
It's very nice.
And I still need to listen to her podcast, the author, because I'm very interested. It's just that I get so sucked into my
She hosts a
audiobooks.
podcast called Morbid.
Yep. Co-host. Okay. She's a co-host of the hit podcast Morbid. Yeah, she what does it say she is or was? Let's see. Okay, when she isn't writing, she is also the science-loving co-host of the chart-topping show Morbid. As an autopsy technician by trade, she offers a unique perspective from deep inside the morgue.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I just feel like, her books so far, I mean, for me, I've only read fully The Butcher and the Wren. It just, was a very different thriller read for me.
Did your friend like it? Who finished it?
I think so. She hasn't really shared much with me yet because she's waiting. She's waiting.
We better get your move on.
I know, I better get going. And then this is obviously very different from that. This is a romance, like a fall romance, and it's just gorgeous. This cover is beautiful. It's called Given Our History by Kristen J. Miller. This is the second chance romance. But yeah, I'm barely into it. So I think I literally read the prologue. Yep, that's as far as I got. So I've got some reading to do.
Making some
but
strides.
I'm excited, and then I'll show, let's see, the one that I'm definitely going to start, and the others are more like, okay, I hope so. We're running out of We're running out of October.
Books.
But The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim, and Corey already read this one and talked a lot about it. But I feel like I always have to have an aardvark read going, so I feel like I'm incomplete without it. So I'm gonna start this tonight, and I probably won't get too far, but I mean the chapters are really, really short, so I could still end up reading 5 chapters, and it's not, it's like I won't even be reading for very long.
This book chapters are is really good.
And it looks like a nice and
short,
it's
pretty quick read. Really intriguing. When people ask me what my favorite book of the year was, this is the one that always comes to my mind. Definitely in my top 3, but this is the one that always comes to my mind. So I think so far this has been the one. I just really liked it. Yeah. And it's not like you see the cover and you think it's not all creepy. It's not all about eyeballs and that kind of a thing. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of drama, a lot of family. There's a lot of some psychological stuff. Yeah. It kind of covers a lot of different genres, and it's really, really good. Yeah.
So I'm going to finally dive in because he's been bugging me about it.
I want to discuss it with somebody.
You can discuss it with Lou.
I could.
You guys could have a little side conversation about it. But if he needs to before I finish it. But I do plan on starting.
Should we talk about this one?
Sure.
So
we go from a pretty short
once you see
to this next one.
This is one likely we both want to read at some point, but it's very...
I'm going to read it in November. I will read it in November. Or start in November, I should say. And have it done before the end of the year. I do plan on that.
But it's very intimidating. Once you see it, you'll know.
Yes.
But it is how... We checked. There's really short chapters. This book actually has 261 chapters.
So it's almost 600 pages.
Yes. But... All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. So this is a big book.
It's a pretty big one.
I'm sure some of you watching have read this book.
Let us know if you've read it or if you want to read it.
But books like this are very intimidating, obviously. But it also seems like it could be quick. It seems weird to say it might be a quick read, but with the short chapters and depends how the pacing is. But with how good of reviews this book gets, I think it will move quick.
Yeah. And this is one that I definitely need to read before the end of the year.
Seems like a good November book.
massive FOMO, which I feel like somebody asked that. Was that in what that means? I think on our last one when I said
the
FOMO,
fear of
missing out. Yeah.
Yeah, what month was that we get this book? Was this, because this was a book of the month book.
Look on the. Oh, it's not gonna say because I did it.
yeah.
It was an add-on.
Okay.
So it was just you can add it on.
Because we've had it for a while.
Long enough.
We've had it for a little while. So.
But I've been putting it off not because I don't think I'll like it, but just because, as you know, I like to read multiple books at a time, and so I have a heart feeling that when I read this, I'm gonna have to
You might have to.
I won't be able to deviate as much from it, and that drives me crazy because and maybe I won't want to because if it's that good,
but with the length too,
it's just kind of like because then I'm gonna want to get through it, and I'm like, am I gonna I
told Katie you could read one chapter a day for almost a whole year.
Yeah, if you want to draw it out that
3/4 of the year you could read one chapter a day.
I would hope I could get through a chapter, seeing so some of them are literally one page.
That's true. That's true.
I
love it.
What else? I can
show
a couple library books and then this one because they're all little.
One, yeah.
Yep. So
I forgot about that.
First of all, I'm really sad at how fast October has gone by because I just had so many books at the beginning of the month that I really wanted to read before October was over. And honestly, it's still been a really good reading month. I'm not complaining. But it's just, and I'm sure you can feel this way too, or you feel this way if you are as avid of a reader as I am. But there's just not enough time. There's simply not enough time in the day or night to read everything you want to read. And yes, it's okay to read some of these books that I wanted to read in October in a different month. But it's just I really wanted to do some of these spooky ones, especially.
How many did you get through?
Well, I'm currently listening to The Reformatory, and I'm not very far into it.
That was one of them, yeah.
But yeah, that was one I had wanted to read, so I'm currently listening to it on audio. Not very far into it yet. That was on my list. I am currently reading The Butcher Game. That was on my list. So I may or may not finish it before the end of the month, but it's I at least started it. Given Our History was on my list, and I'm going to get going with it. I'm trying to think
Eyes of the Best Part was on your list.
That was on my list, and I'm going to start it.
Starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then this little one.
And this, so this one, I won't show my library books yet.
I forgot that we.
I know, it's been on my nightstand.
about this one. Where's it been?
And it's been on my nightstand.
No, this is when we're kind of.
So I do want to kind of just pick it up and read it in 1 or 2 sittings because then I could be I finished it in October.
Yeah, this is a little novella.
It's just tiny.
Yeah, it's based on.
So it won't take me long to read it all.
Edgar Allan Poe's. Fall of the House of Usher.
So that was another one on my list.
Yeah.
Oh, We Used to Live Here. I finished that book. There we go.
Yeah, we both read that one.
Yep, that was on my list and I finished it. What was I'm trying to think of what else I did finish. Well, I'm doing okay. I guess I should say.
So give yourself credit.
Yes, I have actually finished ones I said I was going to read, and I'm starting ones that I said I wanted to read.
Just don't make your November list as big.
I know, right? It's I can't be as ambitious.
You're already
they're gonna move into November or eventually
they carry over.
They just carry over. But I do think I want to we're gonna have knock on wood a less busy weekend this weekend. So I am hoping for a little bit more reading time than I normally get on some of these weekends that we've had recently. So that one, and then since we're talking about little itty bitty books, we talked about that giant one, but these are both teeny tiny, and they're both from the library. I've had this one for a little bit, so I think
that one's not due yet, I thought.
No, it's coming up, so I might have to renew it. It doesn't say that it's a short loan or anything, so I hopefully can renew it. But Haunt Sweet Home, I think I talked about this one. Mm-hmm. It'll be kind of it almost seems like it's going to be somewhat funny. Cool. But also creepy.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be kind of interesting. Cool. So this could be another one I could read pretty fast. So I still plan on getting to this one sooner rather than later. And then this one is way different than spooky stuff and everything. But I'm gonna get it read because it is a short loan. But I still have 2 weeks to read a very tiny book. So I think I'll be okay even with reading some other things. But this is called What Does It Feel Like by Sophie Kinsella. Maybe you've heard of her before. She has a ton of books, and what's funny is I've not read any of them, except I really want to read this one, and I probably will want to go back and read a lot of her other books, but she is the one who wrote the, what are they called? The Shopaholic? The Shopaholic novels, which I think came out quite a while ago now. What else has she written? Lots of different books. I think her most recent one before this one was called The Burnout, and that was actually an aardvark choice at one point, and I didn't pick it.
Oh, okay.
But I've heard good things about it, so that'll probably be the one that I would go to next after this one. But this one is a deeply personal novel, as this author got diagnosed with cancer, and I don't know which cancer. I'm blanking on it now. But yeah, so this book is fiction, but it's like based off of her own life and her own experience of walking through this diagnosis. So it's going to be a sad read. So I will have to prepare myself for that, but I've been told that like you need to read this book. Like, and Jodi Picoult has her stamp of approval on the front too.
This is a short loan.
Yeah, it's short
new,
loan,
yeah.
and it's brand new. It just came out, and it's like a teeny like novella.
100,
it's not long.
25 pages or so. Yeah.
But it says the bravest book you'll read all year. So
you're prioritizing.
I am.
Eyes are the best part,
Yep.
and then maybe this one.
Yeah, probably for now.
Well, all of them.
All of them. I'll take turns, but
you have to see which one grips you the most.
Yes, we'll have to see. Yeah.
There's always the one that kind of grips you in more.
Yeah.
I have decided I'm not going to ever go more than 2 books at a time because I was 4 for a while and then I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
It was not going well.
But I was like reading a little bit of the author's note at the end, but that'll be a tough one to read, but I would like to read it.
So
do you have a
couple I want to show. So once I finished Misery, I said I wouldn't start any books. I finished Misery, so I'm still going to do that. I showed one last week that I'm going to be starting, which is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So the Goldfinch's friend here. And I was kind of deciding before we started this which one will be my second book I'm going to start. Because there are quite a few I want to start, but this is the one that's been staring at me. It's kind of it's been staring at me. And it's a little shorter, and it's still in that creepy genre, so I want to continue it a little bit before I move on from the creepy. I want to do one more creepy book. I mean, The Secret History is also very...
Isn't it almost considered a thriller?
It is a
right?
thriller,
Yeah.
so I'm going to be sticking with the creepy vibes, but it's this one here, The Stranger Upstairs. Got a nice paint there.
It's a cool.
I know, I love it.
Cover.
You know, a little shorter book, but this one just it kind of reminds me a little bit of We Used to Live Here, in a sense, and I really like that. I like that kind of that little. I don't know. That's the kind of thing that
unsettling.
Yeah, that's the kind of scary that kind of gets me a little shivery. So that's the kind of scary I like. So this is gonna be one I'm gonna start along with The Secret History once I finish Misery. So after Halloween.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for both of them. I don't know if I'll like alternate or
just pick one up first and then do the next one.
Start them both and see which ones I'm into the most at the minute, or just alternate or whatever. But you can never really say. It depends on the day. Depends on the day, depends on the mood, which one you're going to start.
Yep.
But there's many I want to start, so that's why the decision was hard. And if we find some more tomorrow, I'll be like, well...
It just adds to the...
I mean, some of the books...
the problem.
Who says I have a problem?
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem. Loving
it just
books and reading
adds
is not a problem.
to the collection.
Yeah.
But it also gives...
And I made my life so much, I won't say worse, but like, with having a Kindle now, because I have access to tons of different books on there now as well. So I didn't even get into like the ones that I actually have going on there too. So I always have multiple.
And you keep going to the library too.
I know,
and then,
but hey, I have to draw the line somewhere at book purchases. So that's when the library comes in handy, because then there's books I really want to read that I'm like, all right.
Yeah, part of the...
I'm not going to buy that one, but I want to read it.
Part of the fun is deciding which one to read next. Because we've done reels where I'm just staring at the bookshelf and it's like, nothing's really speaking to me.
It's so hard.
But
I wish I could literally read more than one book at one time. I mean, I do the whole like switching around and stuff. But if I was like literally able to simultaneously read them.
I mean, I've done a reel where I read 2 at once. You just use one eyeball
one eye for
for
this
each.
one and one. If only that could work.
It makes you dizzy, but it works.
But yeah, that's what we got.
Good episode. We're doing good. We're on episode 33, so in 2 more episodes, we're going to be live again. So we'll try to get that.
Is this episode 33?
This is
Remember
33.
we had like a weird confusion the last time.
We were right. So
No, you were. I was doubting.
Okay. This is 33.
Last time wasn't 33?
Yes, this is 33.
I
Episode 33.
You on it last time too. I don't know.
I keep track of the YouTube more.
I keep wanting to do a live episode, I guess. I'm just like anxious for a live episode.
We could do more live, like every.
That's okay.
We can see, but
yeah, it's okay. It'll actually work out better anyway with our schedule because next weekend I'm going out of town. So, because we were talking about maybe, actually no, the 35th one still can't go on a Friday because I have book club. So we'll have to figure it out. But I know we would ideally love to do them on Fridays if they could fall on a Friday. But
yeah,
if it doesn't, that's okay too. It's just
every,
I don't know. We'll figure it out, but maybe let us know in the comments too if like there's a day that
anyone who wants to tune into live, which day is the best?
I know we won't be able to like work with everybody's schedule, but if you at least
I know our first one was on a Friday and that one went really well.
Yeah, Friday night would be ideal. But
we did give a lot of preparation too, like a lot of heads up. So we'll continue to do the heads up once we know a date.
What date? Yeah.
And we usually do 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And that'll be good.
Yeah.
We like the live episodes.
It's fun.
Other than that, cool.
I think that's it.
Leave a comment, please, if you're still watching with what you're reading, what you're drinking, what you're doing this weekend. I have a lot of raking to do. We live in a very mature neighborhood with tons of trees.
Which is awesome.
We have 7 mature trees in our
leaves.
small property. So there's a lot of raking every year, which I like.
I started going on it a little bit yesterday, but didn't get crazy far. So
I'll be doing some of that tomorrow, as well as going to the book sale and reading Misery.
It's got to get further. You got to do it during the day. Your daytime reading.
I've been really tired lately because I've just been working more.
Yeah.
And
then he doesn't get much reading in
and
because you're already not a night reader.
I cannot read at
He
night.
looks at me and he's like, how do you do this? And then I stay up
I
late
can, but like I gotta be like feeling it, Like I read so much better during the day. I'm just more. That's my time. I'm more focused during the day. I'm more of a morning or day person.
We're trying to be full-time influencers, so if you wanna keep helping us out with that, then Corey can quit his 9-to-5 job. Then you can read more during the day.
That's what I'm saying. That'll be excellent. Day reading is where it's at. Drink your coffee while you read. It's perfect. But thank you very much.
We've laughed enough. We'll see you guys next